ETS3 has opened its service to the public on 30th of August 2025, extending Electrified Railway from Gemas to Kluang. Located about 281 kilometers from Kuala Lumpur by rail, Kluang is located at the center of state of Johor. As one of the first public passengers on ETS3, I will review two types of seats in the train, standard class and business class. In addition, there will be a review of the day visit to Kluang and nearby attractions to the railway station. What are the experiences of riding ETS3 and visiting Kluang town? Let's take a brand new ETS3 train to Kluang and visiting this old station as well, and to understand why does this railway exist in the middle of Johor. The journey today starts from Seremban Station, one of the oldest railway stations in Malaysia still in operation. As in 2025, Seremban Station undergoing a major renovation efforts to increase the station size, amenities and the number of platforms. Uniquely, the old station building will be preserved and integrated within the new station. Why start at Seremban and not Kuala Lumpur? Okay, Central, because in the previous video, I talked about the Klang Valley Double Track Project or KVDT that slows down the train operating speed. The journey between Kuala Lumpur and Seremban as in 2025 is 1 hour and 40 minutes, which is slower than the train in the year 1924. To know more about the issue, to understand the project, the link to watch this video is up here. The new ETS3 train scheduled to arrive at Seremban Station at 9:03 AM. And there it is, there is the train, so shiny and new. I'm so excited. Ah! Let's enter the train, pressing the door button and please don't do this as an example to your kids, parents. Finally, I get my right seat and start the journey to Kluang. The journey is about 2 hours and 5 minutes. Therefore, let's start looking around ETS3 and all the amenities the train could offer. The brand new train is KTM Class 94, the third generation of ETS, better known as ETS3. ETS stands for Electric Train Service, the flagship service of Keretapi Tanah Melayu or KTM, Malaysia's national rail operator. I talked about ETS in the previous video that explained why the service is a middle solution between the often delayed diesel run locomotive express train and exorbitant price of high-speed railway, which is been cancelled years back. To understand more about the ETS and its earlier two train generations, the link to watch this video is up here. Seats in the standard class are dark blue in colour with 2+2 configuration. There are 276 in standard class. There are information screens at each end of the carriage and in the middle, together with luggage rack above. By a glance, the seats in ETS3 are similar with the previous models. But there are differences too. Difference number 1. There are 2 plugs under the seat instead of 1. No more quarreling with the next passenger of who can use the plug first. Also, the plugs are facing the passenger instead of hiding under the seat.
Pulau Sebang, hampir. Sila awasi langkah anda.
Pulau Sebang, hampir. Maju step.
Difference number 2. Hanger hook is located in front instead of side next to window in the previous models. Difference number 3 is probably the biggest improvement for the standard class on ETS. All standard class seats in ETS3 are rotatable to the forward position. No more backward seats and feeling dizzy travelling backwards for hours. The sliding door and seats at carriage B and E are really near. It's kind of narrow and hassle to move between. There is a Wi-Fi signal, but when I try to log in, it didn't work. Let's take a look inside the washroom. There are two types of washroom, the normal washroom and accessible washroom. Normal washroom has a toilet bowl, sink and flush that sounds like an aeroplane washroom. Walking to coach D where Muslim praying room and accessible washroom are located. Accessible washroom is similar to normal washroom, just bigger to allow the wheelchair users enter and exit with ease. Praying room is simply a room with washing basin.
Pintu akan dibuka. Sila awasi langkah anda.
There is a cafe located at coach C and I also want to buy something here. Therefore, welcome to Fami World Food where explore the food choices in ETS Cafe. The menu is similar with what the cafes in other ETS offers. However, the tray may come from an airline that is no longer in business. The name is so familiar. I bought spinach olio salmon for 13 ringgit, which is the same menu I ate in the previous adventure on early 2025. Yes, to make it hot back. The food is served in airline-style microwavable box. Airline? The taste is exactly what I remembered as the previous meal. Overall, the train was built by CRRC Zhou in China and was delivered on early 2025. Later orders will be assembled locally in Batu Gajah, Perak. Before the current extension, ETS expanded its operation by stages, starting between Seremban and Ipoh in 2010 and Padang Besar and Gemas in 2015, and the latest expansion to Segamat opened on the 1st of July 2025. The train near Gemas, the previous terminus of ETS.
Langkah anda.
Gemas. Mind your step.
Until July 2025, all passengers who want to continue the journey to Johor, Singapore and to the East Coast states need to transfer into another train in Gemas, Express Selatan to the south, Express Right Timuran and DMU shuttle to the East Coast. The transfer could be overwhelming and very sleepy due to the timing. Transfer to Express Right Timuran is at 1 AM and to Johor via Express Selatan at 2 AM. Right after the train leaves Gemas, the train has entered Johor. As such, let's take a look back into the history of why railway was built in the central Johor. ETS3 train is travelling through Segamat, the northernmost district in Johor. Segamat is famous for its durian.
Segamat. Sila awasi langkah anda.
Segamat. Mind your step.
Between July and August 2025, Segamat is the terminus of ETS for just 2 months. Before the current railway in Johor exists between Gemas and Johor Bahru, there were two former railways that used to exist in Johor. Johor Wooden Railway was the earliest documented railway construction in the whole peninsula, linking Johor Bahru and a health resort in Mount Pulai. The construction started in 1869. The railway was made of compacted earth as the ballast and wood as both railing and sleeper, hence its name, Wooden Railway. However, it was unclear whether the railway was ever regularly operated, as the last newspaper article in 1889 reported that the railway has been abandoned years before due to locomotive accident and termites damage to the rail. Due to limited public sources in the archives and anything written in books or memo or letter, its exact route is unknown today. If Johor Wooden Railway was ever successfully operated, it would be the first railway line in the whole Malaya instead of former railway between Taiping and Port Weld, which is today Kuala Sepetang. Second former railway ever exists in Johor was located in Muar. Muar State Railway opened in 1890, linked Muar and nearby town of Parit Jawa to ease the movement of agricultural produce and people between these towns. Due to competition with road transport, the railway was shut down in 1929 and replaced by a road, which is Jalan Temenggung Ahmad today. Definitely a good topic for the future video. Back to the current railway. Initially owned and operated by Johor State Railway, the railway between Gemas and Johor Bahru was opened in 1909. The railway was built during the British colonization era to link Johor with the rest of British Malaya and eventually Singapore in 1924 after the completion of Johor Causeway. Why was the railway built in less populated central Johor and not more populated west coast via Muar and Batu Pahat? Reason number 1, rubber. Rubber is the most lucrative cash crop in British Malaya in the early 20th century. Thus, an efficient and speedy transportation is needed to transport vast quantity of rubber from the plantations to the port. Rivers in Johor is shallow and river transport is slow and prone to pirate attacks, while road transport, while cheap, is not able to carry large amount of rubber and labour into the plantation. Railway makes a rubber plantation, vast rubber plantation possible by allowing machineries, labour and rubber seedlings to be carried deep into the cleared jungle of central Johor.
Lapis.
Reason number 2, land. It is faster, cheaper and less hassle to clear the jungle for the railway than to take away the land from the small landowners in coastal area. Furthermore, narrow rivers in central Johor makes bridge construction relatively easier than bridging the wider river downstream near the coastal West Johor. In addition, felled jungle trees provide materials for railway construction such as railway sleepers, stations and sheds. By time rubber trees were replaced by palm oil trees as the price of natural rubber fell due to competition with synthetic rubber made out of petroleum. Today, only a few areas where rubber trees remain throughout the railway alignment and not a single kilogram of rubber is transported via rail today. Therefore, palm oil trees dominated the view between Segamat and Kluang most of the time.
Sila awasi langkah anda.
Buku. My new step.
Destinasi akhir tren ini adalah stesen Kluang.
Since the first day of ETS3 operation is on the 30th of August, which is one day before Malaysia's Independence Day, passengers were given jalur gemilang, which is national flag of Malaysia, to celebrate the History Day. As we travel crossing central Johor, let's enjoy the scenery of palm oil trees and jungles with towns and villages in between.
Lalu, sila awasi langkah anda.
Hello, mind your step.
Destinasi akhir tren ini adalah stesen Kluang. Stesen berikutnya, Kluang.
The final destination station for this train is Kluang. Next station, Kluang.
Kluang. Sila awasi langkah anda.
Kluang. Mind your step.
Wah, ada kapal keluar.
At 11:18 am, the train has arrived at Kluang, the current terminus of the ETS services. As I rode the train on the first day of ETS operation in Kluang, there was a celebration mood in the air. Accessibility is well thought, not only in the train but also in New Kluang Station, lift, tactiles and signboards. After exiting the station, let's take a walk in Kluang town nearby. Welcome to Kluang, the capital town of Kluang district in the middle of Johor. And you might be asking, where is the promised business class? Where is it? The next train heading north is at 5:13 PM, almost 6 hours after the arrival of ETS3 to Kluang. I will review business class after finish walking around Kluang town. Stay tuned. As Kluang is famous for its coffee production, local coffee is a must-try product. This one is Kluang Television brand coffee, served cold. Walking outside the new station to the right, the old station building still stands. Let's heading towards the old station building. This is where Kluang Railway Coffee located and still in business since 1938. As the day of the visit is a weekend and the first day of ETS operation, the queue is quite long. Visiting Kluang without trying its coffee is like visiting Naples in Italy without trying its pizza. After 27 minutes of queuing and waiting at the table, a glass of coffee with butter kaya bun has arrived. A simple classic breakfast at 12 in the afternoon. Before the new elevated station was built, this is the Kluang station, where the express and mail trains halted. In the past, express train had a few minutes to stop to drop off and take passengers, drop and take the parcels and mails, get a token, a railway token as permission to continue the journey, just to list a few. In these few minutes, passengers and railway staffs were able to order some coffee from the station canteen and pick the order up. This is how Kluang Railway Coffee gained its fame: fast, delicious and eye-opening coffee. Today, all stations become part of Laman Rail Mahkota, the linear park that used part of former railway track and land underneath the new elevated track as a public space. Express Selatan departed from New Kluang Station heading towards JB Central at 12:20 p.m. A few months after this video was made, ETS may extend its service to Johor Bahru by the end of 2025. Comment JB got ETS in the comment section when the electric train reached Johor Bahru. Did you notice that the railway and the station are elevated? Because instead of raising the town to build road flyovers, the railway was built upwards so that the roads below and historic town centre remain. As the next ETS3 train return home is hours away, let's walk outside the station and sightseeing around Kluang Station. Surprisingly, around the vicinity of the Kluang railway station, which is at the back, there are walkways like this with roof, which is a kind of rarity in Malaysia. Pretty nice to walk around. The only downside is that there is lack of zebra crossing for pedestrians to cross the road safely. While walking around the old town of Kluang, let's understand the history of how this town was founded. Before the existence of the railway, central Johor in early 20th century was a dense jungle, inhabited by orang asli or the aborigines and a few Malays, daring Malays that earned a living with jungle harvests such as hunting animals, timber and gathering herbs and honey. There were large Malayan flying foxes flying above in the evening, hence the name Kluang, which means flying fox in Malay language. The big differences between bats and flying foxes are the size, diet and active time. Bats are smaller, eat insects and small animals and usually active at night. While the flying foxes, the size is bigger than bats. They mainly eat fruits, hence the name, fruit bat, and active in the evening, not at night. In the 1894 map, Kluang was not marked on the map yet, and the proposed railway was planned to be built near Paloh River, Melantai River and Sembrong River. Unique among rivers in central Johor, Sembrong River flows to the east instead of to the west. Kluang was founded in the year 1910, just 1 year after the railway between Gemas in Negeri Sembilan and Johor Bahru was completed in the year 1909. Due to railway and its strategic location in the middle of Johor, Kluang developed into a town with industries and palm oil plantations as the main economic activities. Products produced in Kluang include tiles, rubber products and tissue paper. When I walk near Kluang Street Art, there is a mural painting competition in conjunction of Independence Day celebration. After the completion of North-South Expressway, or better known as PLUS, in the year 1994, Kluang retained its relevancy as a town located about 25 kilometers from Air Hitam, the nearest PLUS interchange. Kluang will not grow this big in the middle of Johor without the existence of railway passing by the town. The similar case of Hat Yai in Thailand that was built nearby a railway junction between Bangkok, Padang Besar and Sungai Golok. I talked about Hat Yai in the previous video where the largest city in southern Thailand was founded near a railway junction and initially served as a rest stop for overnight travellers. If you want to know more about Hat Yai and why it is so popular with the Malaysian tourists. The link to watch this video is up here. The next ETS train leaves at 5:18 PM, so it is time to back to Kluang station. Before the train arrives, there is an event held at the waiting area to celebrate the first day of ETS3 operation. The lucky passengers won souvenirs and free train tickets. Me, I got a selfie. There it is, the same ETS3 train, heading towards KL Central this time. Welcome to ETS3 Business Class. The seat color is dark blue with floral motif similar with the standard class seats. There are 36 seats in the business class located in coach A with 2+1 configuration, wide and comfortable. Every seat comes with a wide footrest and an electric plug entertainment screen on the left side. And foldable table on the right side. And back to entertainment screen. Of course, you want to watch a video from your favorite YouTube channel. The steward closed the overhead luggage compartment before departure. Feels like flying with the aeroplane. At 5:13 PM, the train departed from Kluang, headed north to KL Central in Kuala Lumpur. Like a train ride to Kluang, the view is mainly dominated with palm oil plantations with towns and villages by the rail. Like a flight, there is a live location map on entertainment screen, although the current screen still shows Gemas as the terminus. Ooh, there is Netflix, but I need to use my account. Approaching Bekok station, the food service has started. Therefore, welcome to Fami World Food Business Class Edition, where we review the food served in the business class. For the first day of ETS3 operation, I was served with rice, chicken curry and achar rampai, a kind of sweet and savoury cut vegetables, accompanied with a bottle of mineral water and a snack box. Inside the snack box is a fruit juice, salted peanuts and earphone. Arriving at Labis station, ETS3 will overtake Diesel Run Express Selatan that is waiting at platform number 1. After reaching Gemas station, evening snack is served, chocolate muffin and a choice of tea or coffee. The biggest difference between business class and standard class is the price. With double the fare amount and less discount for eligible passengers, the price is quite steep for ordinary Malaysians. Also, the menu served in the business class is fixed on that day. You cannot ask for a menu change. For me, the price is acceptable if you value comfortability and space. I can do the work comfortably, less time spent waiting at the cafe as the food is served onto my table. And more importantly, no other passengers could simply sit on my allocated seat and act dumb when the person was out to move. The first day of ETS3 to Kluang was a memorable trip, and ETS made it possible for me to visit Kluang with rail and return on the same day. What I appreciate the most is that all seats in ETS3 standard class are facing the front, no more seats facing backward. With the availability of ETS, Kluang might experience a boom in business and tourism industry, as what other cities and towns in the northern states such as Ipoh, Georgetown and Padang Besar experience. So what do you think of ETS3 and Kluang Town? You can share in the comment section. If you want to ride ETS3 between Kuala Lumpur and Kluang, the train operates once per direction every day since 30th of August 2025. The train starts its journey from KL Central Station. Do not go to Old Kuala Lumpur Station. ETS3 trains are wheelchair accessible and the new stations between Seremban and Kluang are accessible as well. The fare between KL Central to Kluang on standard class varies between RM82 to RM92 per person one way, depending on the date of travel. But if you like to splurge, the business class ticket is varied between RM153 to RM169 per person one way. Discounts apply to the elderly, government pensioners, persons with disability, students and uniform members such as armed forces, police and firefighters still on service. Malaysian only. Reference list in the form of article is in the description for your further reference. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new about ETS3 and Kluang as a town that was built by the railway. Thank you so much for watching again and see you in the next video.